Canola School on RealAgriculture.com is brought to you by Alberta Canola Producers Commission, SAS Canola, and Manitoba Canola Growers.
Welcome to Real Agriculture's Canola School series. I'm Kara Oosterhuis. Today I'm here at the Canola Discovery Forum here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I'm here with Kim Kenward with 2020 Seed Labs. How's it going today, Kim?
Very well, thank you.
So today you're talking a bit about soil testing for clubroot. Can you touch a bit on the importance of why you should soil test?
Well, clubroot is actually a soil-borne disease, so it's the best way of actually tracking where it's going to show up once it's outside of the plant.
How does timing play into soil sampling? When should you sample in the year?
Well, once you actually have plants in the field that are susceptible to clubroot, you might as well just leave it alone. Okay? Because the massive accumulation that's going to happen is going to happen in the plant, and that will not be released into the soil until after the plant decays back into the ground. And it's because it's root, most of that decay is going to be invisible, so you're going to have to pull the plant to check and see what the timing is for how long it's going to be in the plant versus in the soil. Once decay's happened, then it's released back into the soil, and it will stay in there. But come spring, if you get moisture in there, you're going to start to get the spores germinating, and they'll be moving off looking for a new host. If they don't find that host, it's just going to die, and it won't actually infect anything. But that's going to lower the spore load. And we always have a period in the spring where we have to wait for it to dry off before we can get onto the field in order to seed.
So how quickly does that spore load actually drop?
Well, the academic studies say that in the absence of a susceptible host, you can expect the spore load to drop significantly over the first 2 years. Over the long term, you actually, the half-life is supposed to be 10 years, and you can expect some long-lived spores to be there up to 20 years. But you will see a significant drop after 2 years, so that you might be able to get back in there with a resistant variety with a different resistance compared to what you had before, and you can start getting a crop off.
So how do you actually test your soil for clubroot? How do you recommend producers go about doing that?
In terms of sampling it?
Yeah.
Well, we say don't sample when the plants are in the ground. Wait until after they've decayed. If you're going to pull, you should look at the areas in the field where you see the highest incidence of a clubroot occurring. So that's going to be around the field entrances. It's going to be in low-lying spots and potentially old garden sites where you might have had a homestead happening. Those are the most likely places where the clubroot is going to occur, so you can create a composite sample from those locations. I would recommend making them even amounts because you can dilute out any amount of clubroot that's present there to the point we can't detect it if you put too many samples in there. So test as many samples as you can, composite as few cores as you can afford.